Welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant.
And I'm Abby, the Badass Breastfeeder. And today's episode is brought to you by Dianne and Abby. Dianne and Abby Nursing and Pumping Bras. Dianne and Abby designs combo nursing and pumping bras and camis so you can stop holding your flanges or changing in and out of different bras to pump or nurse. And we will hear more from our sponsor later. But you can head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page. If you ever need anything, see if you can give them any of your business because they make this podcast possible. And while you're there, you can scroll down and enter your email address. We'll send episodes straight to your inbox every week. And we are on Patreon. If you visit the top link in the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from, you can click the link and see if any of those tiers appeal to you. There's a badass tier where we have mini podcasts and our Revolution Parenting episodes and weekly wellness checks where we check in with each other. And then we have the super badass. I think it's super badass level where you get an extra ad-free episode every month, along with all the other stuff that the badass gets. And then there's the ultra badass tier where we have our Zoom hangouts every month, and as well as all the other things that the super badass and the badass get. And it's really fun. So you should just check it out. And we are still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet. You just leave a review wherever you are able to, whether it's written or stars or whatever. Send a screenshot to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll send you a goodie bag of podcast stickers and thank you for nursing in public cards. And I think that's all. Dianne has our review of the week now.
And it says, as a first-time mom, I'm so grateful I've found this informative podcast. Thank you for sharing so many topics on breastfeeding. I've been sharing with fellow pregnant and mama friends. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. I didn't have any pregnant mama and fellow pregnant mama friends when I was pregnant. I love these messages that we get that people are like, I share with all my pregnant mama friends. Like, that's freaking fantastic because I had none.
I know. You were like ahead of the game.
Oh my God. I just didn't have any friends. I was just a big loser.
No, I got pregnant. I had my first when I was 35 years old. And all the friends that I had were like social work friends. And everybody was mostly single, no kids, just working all the time. And then I got pregnant. I was like the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to find them. I found them. I had to find them after the fact.
Yeah. I love it. Like when I get people that come in and they say, oh, my sister-in-law told me about you, or my friend told me about you, or blah, blah, blah. Cause they're like all having babies at the same time and stuff. And I'm like, that's fantastic that I've had people tell me that they have like middle of the night friends that they can like text when they're up feeding their baby in the middle of the night because they're all up at the same time.
That's amazing.
That is fantastic to have somebody in your corner all the time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sending that in for us. And hopefully you got your goodie bag by now because we really do send them out. We really do.
Yeah, it really happens.
Yeah.
And we just want your review and we want to send out, podcast stuff. So do it.
We want to get these cards out there circulating.
Yes, we do. And when you get all these cards, spread them around. Like stick them in, bring them to the library or to the kids' play zone or wherever. And spread them around.
Yeah, and Abby has a message for us, and then we're going to talk about some fun stuff today.
Yeah, I got this email, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I'm just going to read it. It's from Amy. And she says, I know it's been a couple of weeks since you posted this episode, but I just wanted to reach out and tell you how much I appreciate you sharing that with your listeners. Life insurance. It's something most young families probably don't know that they need until they need it and don't have it. I am blessed that I did have it when my time of desperate need came. When I was 20 years old, I got married to my high school sweetheart. Chris and I got set up with life insurance policies at my parents' urging. Due to mental health diagnoses, I had and could get, all I could get was basically a burial policy. Chris, on the other hand, was healthy. He went ahead and got a 20-year life policy. I remember how ridiculous I thought the cash amount was when we were just 20 years old. I thought, we do not need that kind of money. Nothing is going to happen to you before you're 40. Sadly, I was wrong, and he was killed in a car wreck at the age of 28. Thankfully, he had planned ahead, and this meant that myself, our toddler, and our unborn daughter were provided for in his absence. I was working as a night shift labor and delivery nurse at the time. The money he left meant that I was able to keep our house, provide for our nighttime and daytime childcare, and later return to school to become a nurse midwife while working only part-time. The childcare made it possible for me to breastfeed and pump for when working our younger daughter for the first year of life. She was born months after his death. You never think the tragedy is going to hit your family. That is why you get life insurance. I have seen other families in my position, and it completely broke them. Without Chris's foresight, I would have been in a really bad way. I don't know what the kids and I would have done. I am so grateful he planned ahead. Thank you for sharing such an important episode with your listeners. Our loss was in 2014. My girls are 10 and 12 now. I remarried in 2019. My husband and I now have a little boy. I was able to breastfeed for 22 months. He will be 3 next month. I also gained a stepdaughter by marriage, and she will be 18 this year. We are blessed. So that's her story. Super tragic. Sounds like she's, doing great now, has a growing family. But that's the sad truth about life insurance.
Yeah.
It's like, especially when you start having kids. And, if you haven't heard that episode, it was, I interviewed Whitney Tompkins with Your Family, Your Legacy. No, Your Family, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Your Family, Your Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah, she talks about, she is a life insurance advisor, and you can even, reach out to her and see if there's, a plan. She works with your budget and all of that. Anyway, I thought that was a really amazing message to be sent, and somebody was touched by an episode like that. And
yeah, that is really, it's sad. It's really sad, but it is, things happen,
Yeah, fucking shit happens, man. Sorry.
I know.
If you're at work or something.
Put it out there.
Yeah. So today we were going to talk about, I love talking about baby products. It's one of the things I feel like I can talk about all day. And I used to, when I was going around doing things more than I do now, I would go to a lot of those baby expo things. And I went, only one time did I go to the ABC Expo in Las Vegas, which was 4 days. It was 1 million square feet, thousands of baby product companies were there. And it's fascinating. I mean, I just don't think there's anything else people can think of. I mean, it's unbelievable what's out there. Yeah. This market, this is $1 billion market. And we live in the United States too, where there's absolutely no regulation on these things. They could just say whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
We talk a lot about formula and pumps and bottles and nipples and things like that fall under the WHO code, where every other country in the world follows. But we don't, which is why you see formula companies or formula ads everywhere, and you see bottle nipples being advertised just like your nipple, which is like
Yeah.
a who code violation. You can't say that.
Bullshit.
Except
and it's bullshit.
nobody cares.
So.
Yeah, it's bullshit. And it doesn't matter. We live in America. They can say whatever they want. So just the amount of things that hit the market is crazy to me. And some of it is absolutely, I was saying to Josh the other day, those wee yogurt jars. I think that's how you say it. They're the glass yogurt jars, and they're so useful, right? Who like glass yogurt jar? Well, somebody invented a silicone top to put over them, like a leak-proof silicone top that you can save your wee yogurt jars, and then you can get these silicone tops to put on top of them. And you can just throw them in your bag and like you could just use them forever. And I was like, see, this is why this shit is great. This is why like capitalism and, technology and human invention, this is why this rocks. Because this is so useful. I'm going to use this forever. And if you have like, you can use it for anything. You can put literally anything in there that will fit in the jar and it won't leak. And it's great. I was just going on and rant about it. But then at the same time, you use that same freedom and creativity and desire to make money. And man, you come up with some funny ass shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just asked, well, first of all, I asked our friends in Patreon, like, I just put it out there, like, what was a product that you thought was really useful, that you would buy, a million times over? And what was one that you think was an absolute waste of money? And I was not surprised when, well, first of all, on Patreon, a lot of people answered. And on the internet, there's just like hundreds of answers. Won't even be able to read them all. But I wasn't surprised. Like, this is something that people are like, people want to talk about this. So in Patreon, some of the things that people really liked were a nail file, which I never did. I bit my kids' nails when they were babies. I just bit them when they were sleeping. I know it sounds weird, but like a lot of people do that.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
A baby carrier, which hands down, I agree, that is like the absolute number one baby item.
Mm-hmm.
Baby carrier. Whatever kind you want, just a baby carrier. One of our patrons added silverettes for your nipples. She likes those. A Larkin bra, so like a nursing and pumping bra. I do think if you're working, that is an absolute must. A Tubby Todd cream. I don't know what that is.
Tubby Todd is just a name of a, they do a whole
is it
line
like
of
a diaper cream or a nipple cream?
No, it's just like a lotion.
Oh, okay.
Like a body lotion.
Yeah. And then this was a really comment that's a thread through all of the comments today, are the button onesies versus the onesies that zip from the bottom up. People are mad about those button onesies. And it's so far back for me that I don't really remember. Now that people are talking about it, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're trying to like you're trying to button like 12 buttons on like a rabid badger that's laying on the changing table. Like, why did they come up with this? Yeah.
They have the magnet ones now.
Yeah, those are cool.
Have you seen those?
If they stay, are kind of cool. Do they stay? I have seen them, yeah. I don't know if they stay. I've never used them, though. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen people that used them. They've stayed, but they're like ridiculously expensive. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think the zipper ones just work fine. You can just zip and you're done.
Yeah.
They work fine. The button ones are ridiculous. I have to agree. Another person says, my new favorite item with both children was my wrap sling. Haven't parted with it. Yeah, that's a really common answer. I'm glad to see that as a really common answer because this is what we need.
Yeah.
Someone else says nasal saline and a nose Frida. Totally agree. That is needed. Those nose Fritas. If anybody doesn't know what a nose Frida is, it's a tube that you put in your baby's nostril. Don't worry. It just goes to the very bottom of their nostril, and you suck through a tube that's far away. Also, don't worry. You're far away. And you suck the snot out of their nose. It's so
You're not
useful.
Siphoning it like where it's going into your mouth. That's not what's happening.
You just pull it out.
Yeah.
It just goes into the tube. You're creating suction and it goes into the tube.
Yeah.
And the saline solution helps loosen it up. Also, like the steam bath, and then you get it all out and you suck it out. It's like so satisfying and very helpful.
They are helpful.
Yeah. Someone else said a portable nightlight. Put it when you have it, you can have it in your car, bring it around to different rooms, which I can see that being useful. Well, that was their number one product, is that nightlight. So that is interesting. Let's see. An oversized recliner for breastfeeding, a diaper like a diaper genie to put the smelly diapers in. I know a lot. Like you think like before you have a kid, you're like, I'll just put it in the garbage. No, you won't. You don't want to just put it in the garbage. They stink real bad. And like going outside every single diaper change to bring it to an outside garbage can. That is not realistic.
No.
I will say personally, I'm going to ask you too. My absolute number one baby item that I will buy for the rest of my life, even not with another baby, for the rest of my life, are baby wipes.
Oh yeah, I know you love your baby wipes.
In every bathroom. Everybody loves them. I wipe the dog's butts with them if I need to. Jack will not, he will not even, if there are no baby wipes available, he thinks it's absolutely disgusting. He's just like, oh my God, where are the baby wipes? I have to wipe. It's like, that's how he gets sufficiently clean. I feel like it's the equivalent of like a bidet. Like you're cleaning with moisture. And, and something that I think is easy to say is a waste of money is a baby wipe warmer. You might say that's a waste of money, except, you and I live in really cold places.
Yeah.
It's really hard to deal with that all day when you just over and over have to grab like the coldest thing in the house. It's like grabbing a piece of ice.
I know.
It's terrible.
I had one of those for my first. I had a baby wipe warmer. My mother was like mocking me about that so much. So you're going to make him a wimp and all this stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's how you toughen babies up, is you put cold stuff on their ass.
I know. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. I've got plenty more to say, but we also have an ad. We get to hear about Dianne and Abby.
Which is a necessary thing to have.
Yeah, right. All right, we'll be right back. Today's episode is brought to you by Dianne and Abby Nursing and Pumping Bras. Dianne and Abby designs combo nursing and pumping bras and camis, so you can stop holding your flanges or changing in and out of different bras to pump or nurse. They're known for their award-winning Amelia Pumping and Nursing Cami. It's been featured in Forbes, Motherly, The Bump, and was just awarded Babylist's Best Pumping Bra for Wearable Breast Pumps. The Amelia Cami is comfy, so you can wear it all day. It features their signature one-handed strap sliders, no plastic nursing clips. It can even be worn on a top by itself. This brand is female-owned by a breastfeeding mom of 3 and bra designer of 15 plus years, who understands exactly what us moms need and want. The owner, Amanda, offers free size and style consults. You can check out her entire collection of combo nursing and pumping bras at davinandadley.com. That's DAVIN and Adley, ANDADLEY.com, and schedule your free consult today. Use code BADASS for 15% off of your purchase. That's code BADASS, 15% off Also, if you didn't hear the episode from a couple weeks ago, we had her on talking about the pumping bras, and you should go ahead and listen to that. And check your show notes for the link and the promo code. And you can head to Badass Breastfeeding Podcast breastfeedingpodcast.com and check out our sponsor page. You'll find our all of our sponsors, all of our resources are over there too, and also information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne.
Yeah.
And let's move over here. So what was you said, what did you say what your favorite one was?
No, I didn't. I think just baby carriers.
Yeah.
I think that was like probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely baby wipes and baby carriers. I feel like I could, if I had to live without everything else, I would be able to survive.
Those, like one of those little chairs, like those little vibrating chair things. My son
like
loves
for
that.
the obviously for the baby, although it'll be nice for the parents too.
I know, right? I think that was like a lifesaver with my first as well. But
yeah, I think somewhere. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a lot of people say that their babies hate those things, but my son loved it.
You have to have somewhere to put your baby down.
Yeah, my mom was always like, his spine isn't gonna grow or something. I don't know what she used to say to me about having him in that thing, but
well, what did she put you down in? I mean,
she probably never picked me up. I don't know.
Oh, that's so. Why am I laughing? That's terrible.
She probably left me on the floor. Who knows what she did with me?
Yeah, I remember. Oh my God. I remember as a teenager, I was living in Amsterdam and I came home to visit, whatever. We always had to come here and visit my grandparents and stuff. And I was visiting a friend, and her little sister, who was like 14, had a baby.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this house was chaotic. I mean, I wonder what this kid is up to now. Definitely an adult by now, but I can't even imagine. And I remember something was going on outside. They were all kind of running around like, oh my God, and then something happened outside and it was like, oh my God, they wanted to go see. Cause she's 14. She just wants to play.
Right.
And I just happened to be standing there and she just looks around and she puts the baby down on the floor and ran outside.
My gosh.
And I'm just standing there like an 18-year-old standing there next to this like newborn baby on the floor. I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any idea what to do. I just stood there.
Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
Yeah, you got to have a place to put the baby down because you are going to put the baby down.
Yeah.
I had one of those I think it's like a Fisher Price. They've all been recalled. So you can't get them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those like little rocker things.
Yep, those rock and play things. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I had that. That I was saying for the longest time that was my favorite baby item, and then they got recalled, and now I can't say it anymore.
Yeah, they all get recalled. Yeah.
What was happening? Babies were rolling.
I thought. I think so. Getting smothered in them or something. Like I don't know. One of my favorite things, I think you need like some kind of pillow for nursing. It doesn't have to be like this fancy pillow thing, but you need some kind of pillow. But I think one of the things that you don't need is one of those monitors that like monitors your baby's breathing while they're sleeping. I think that is just like there to give you more anxiety if you're going to like listen to your baby breathe all night long. Like it's just going to...
You're totally just asking for panic and you don't need that.
No.
Totally. And I think that when you look at like a traditional baby registry, like, you can get one online, just like baby lists, favorite baby registry, whatever. I mean, 95% of that stuff on there is total junk.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need it. I mean, if you're planning on using a crib, of course, then you're going to need a crib. But honestly, I would wait before you make that decision because we did the whole thing that a lot of people do is you create this nursery. We bought a crib and we had the rocker and the changing table and all the stuff, that they tell you that you need. And we didn't use any of it.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up sharing a bed. And you think that you're not going to do that. And you have to prepare for it anyway, because you are at some times at least going to share a bed with your baby.
Right.
And you got to do it safely. So prepare for it. And I think if you do end up using a crib, that's fine. But like, that's a hard decision to make before you have your baby. You just don't know. You think you know, but you don't.
Exactly.
And the rocker, we ended up not needing the rocker really, because I was just laying in bed. We were either laying in bed or I was like in the living room. I wasn't like hanging out in the nursery.
One of the other things that I think you need is if you have a house that is on 2 stories, I think you need to have a setup downstairs with like a changing table and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's important.
Just have one of those travel nursing pads on your counter or on your, laying on the arm of a couch, and just pull it out whenever you need to change a diaper.
Something. Yeah. Have some wipes there.
You don't need to have like a designated area.
No, just someplace where you can change your baby. Because if you're constantly like bending over the couch to change them, like that can like start to hurt your back a little bit. So have a designated spot where you have the diapers and you have the wipes and you have everything you need, and you can just change them right there. And you're not like running around looking for a diaper. You're not, like, it's just easier to do that.
Totally. And also a pump. Like that's not an automatic thing that you need. If you are going back to work, absolutely. If you're not, and you were told like in order to breastfeed successfully, you have to pump, that's not true. But if you are going to work, then you definitely need that pumping bra and just some of those comforts, because we think that those are like extras, extra kind of indulgences. And that is not, no, it's not. That is an absolute necessity to have a really nice functioning pumping bra. It's going to make a huge difference. I also you need a lactation consultation. Yeah. Another thing that people think is just an extra. Like, well, I can't afford that. But then you go to their house and they've got a swing and a rocker and a vibrating chair and a spinny thing and all these things to make this baby move in all these ways that we try to get them to stop crying, when really you just put them in the carrier. Yeah. And I don't know who has the floor space for this. They certainly don't live in Chicago. Because it's like, that takes up so much room. And I don't have a traditional baby registry in front of me, but some of the things on there make me laugh. Like, I remember, it's like 3 pairs of socks and 2 onesies and 5 books. I remember reading one of them said 5 books, and Josh lost it. Josh is a writer. He writes books, and he's like, 5 books.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, relax.
That is random.
I know, but see, you have to understand too, and I think probably most people do understand this, that the baby registries are put out by the baby product stores. So they want you to buy everything. Right. They want you to have this number of receiving blankets, this number of other blankets, and the crib bumpers and the decorative whatever thing, which also are all unsafe in a crib. And they just want you. They want you, like a Target baby registry, just want you to buy all the stuff at Target. And
they want you to spend their money. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need it. And it's just going to take up so much room in your house. For the longest time, I said a stroller was not necessary. I'm like, I don't need a stroller. I have a carrier. I'm so like, I don't use strollers. And then I had a second baby and I was like, that's insane. I need a stroller. And also, if your kid gets a little bit bigger, like I was still baby wearing when I would still put Jack in a carrier when he was like 3 or 4. It's like a Tula, like they have the toddler sizes. Yeah. But not all the time. I'm like, get off my back, man. Sit in the stroller and let me push you. We got places to go. Sit down. Yeah. Let me read some more of these. So this person says a lifesaver was her breast friend nursing pillow.
Those are good.
Yes. And those are actually made for nursing. I don't know if everybody knows that the Boppy is not a nursing pillow.
They don't work as well.
No, that's not what they're made for. They're made for helping your baby sit up. They're not a nursing pillow. And they actually make the baby fall in towards you because it's rounded, which is not safe.
Right.
The breast friend is just like flat and your baby lays on it and you can relax your arms. And is that the one that clips behind you too?
Yes, it clips and it's like, it's more sturdy so that your newborn who's floppy has a little bit of a sturdy space to lay on.
Right. And you're not using all of your muscles having to hold them up.
Right.
Because you want to relax too. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Oh yeah, like people are talking on the internet about things that were a waste. A baby food maker.
Yeah.
Let's see.
One of the reasons why we started to do this episode was because we saw that article that you sent me about having like a postpartum place to stay. Like
oh
a postpartum hotel.
Oh my God. We forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you guys heard about this? It's a postpartum.
It's like a postpartum hotel. Yeah.
And you go there and you're supposed to like go there with your newborn. Like you don't have your baby there. It's not like a birth center or anything. You just go there after and you pay whatever thousands of dollars to be there. And there's people that are just there like pampering you and taking your baby
to the newborn lounge. That's what they call one of them. That's what they called it. A newborn lounge.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. That seems like a terrible idea. First of all, it's not needed. What you need to be is in your home.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have people coming to your house. What a great thing if they were coming to you so that they could help you, through your house. But that's like the last thing you need is to be somewhere else. I don't want to be somewhere else besides my home with a new baby after having, gone through birth and all of this. Not to mention that it's just, you're going to get used. So then you're there for how long? However long you can afford, I guess. And then you come home and then you have to go through the transition of going home anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
What a total scam.
Oh, it totally is. But they're popping up.
That's just nuts. I mean, I don't know. I feel sad for society. It's like the opposite of what you need, like at home with your people.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to go through a couple more wastes of monies. All the clothes. It's true. One of the favorite things on a baby registry or at a baby shower is like baby clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And you just nobody wears all of that. You need the zip onesies and that's all.
I remember I got like when I had my twins, people were coming out of the woodwork. Like people I didn't know, like friends of my parents were like sending me clothes and gifts and stuff when I had the twins. They were born in November. And where were we going? It was winter in New York State. Where the hell were we going? We were going nowhere. There were times I would just put them in one of the outfits so that I could say that they wore it. And that was it. Because they would grow out of them within a month.
Yes, exactly.
It was ridiculous.
Or,
there was stuff they never wore.
They get you newborn size stuff, and maybe you might give birth to a baby that never fits into newborn clothes.
Right.
Like newborn clothes are tiny.
Yeah. My kids were giants. So it was like we weren't going anywhere. They were staying in those zip up onesie things, those sleepers.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like I wasn't putting them in fancy outfits to sit around the house.
No. Yeah. And this person says all the stuffed animals. Like you constantly get the toys and the stuffed animals. And she says her baby's favorite toys are the pacifier and an empty wipes container.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
You don't I mean, a wipes container, it's all crinkly. I mean, they're gonna love that. Just that's free.
Yeah.
And a lot of breastfeeding people will say that a pacifier is a waste of money, but then a lot of breastfeeding people say that their baby does take a pacifier and it's really nice. Like a nice little rest for them. I always wanted my babies to take a pacifier. I was like, oh my God, what can I do to get them to take this pacifier? They never would.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
Yeah, here this person says the night camera was a waste of money for them too.
I was going to say that too. Yeah, I was going to say that.
I can go on and on and on, and I would love to. And there's so many answers to this. If this is something that you find to be an interesting topic and what everybody's opinion is on this stuff, then just go to the Badass Breastfeeder Facebook page and the Instagram page. There's 2 separate posts to read through if this is your thing. I love reading these comments. This person said, I agree with this person. This person says that an infant car seat was a waste of money. I absolutely agree. Because they can only be in that infant car seat for a certain amount of time, and then you have to buy another one. But you can buy those ones that are infant, they go from newborn to forever.
Yeah.
Which I think is just much better financially.
It's definitely a better idea to do that. It's more efficient.
Yeah.
But then you can't carry them around in that bucket.
Yeah, so, don't carry them around in the bucket. You're not even supposed to. They're not supposed to be in that bucket if the car isn't moving.
Right.
You're supposed to be picking them up to go into the store, putting them in the carrier. You don't want them laying down all that whole time.
No, it's not good for them.
All right. Well, like I said, I can go on, but you can just go and read it if you're interested. And let us know also if you have favorites or wastes of money. And I don't know. I just think it's fun.
It is fun.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.